Welcome back, the followers of the Crimson Ghost Mask Rooms channel, here on Rudy's World. Yeah, my world. Uh-oh. Tonight we're going to talk about Halloween masks. Go figure, right? And some of you are probably saying, thank God. Thank God he's going to be talking about masks and no other goofy stuff out there. But it's a mask channel, mostly. So we're going to talk about masks. Great scores still pouring in from last year into this new year of 2025. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff tonight. First off, I want to start off like tonight is January 8th. If you're watching this, I'm recording it here on the evening of January 9th, 2025. Fires are running rampant through LA and that whole section of Southern California. And you know, a lot of the people in the special effects industry all live out there. Mask makers I know, people in all kinds of other forms of entertainment that I know live there still. And it's terrible. I hope you're all going to be all right, you know. I don't believe what my eyes are seeing, and how there's total devastation and, you know, like Palisades just being gone. Like that's nuts. I just saw something saying it was 8 times the size of the Chicago fire, the Palisade, just the Palisades section. It's sad. It's sad, and I don't know what's more sad. I mean, it is very sad, and what's also sad is the lack of compassion for human beings when it comes to people on social media, you know? And this isn't the first time. I mean, yes, a lot of people say things on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube comments they normally wouldn't say to someone's face, you know? And I'll give a lot of people that. A lot of people like to say the comment that's going to get a lot of people patting them on the back digitally, like, oh, yeah, good comment, buddy. Ha, ha, ha. You're so funny. You're so funny saying good for them. They all deserve it and shit like that. You know, nobody deserves this. It's horrific. I've talked about a time in it here. Here, we're not talking about masks, right? We're talking about other stuff already. But this is important. Horrible things are happening in the world, and it's hard to not talk about it for a minute. Just give me a minute here. It's so easy for people to go, oh yeah, they're rich, you know, who cares? And man, that is a sad attitude to have towards people losing everything they've got. Not every rich person is like the devil, you know. Not every rich person is a scumbag. Not every rich person got their money by stealing it. You know, should they be helping more people in the world with their money? Yeah. We don't know what they do in their... I don't know what they do in with their personal lives or the personal money, but I do know that no one deserves what's going on. There's loss of, you know, I'm sure there's loss of life happening at the same time, but it's sad. I don't care if it's a homeless guy or a guy, you know, in Malibu. If someone dies or loses everything they got, it's fucking sad. You know? It's just, it's sad what social media has created. It's made a soapbox for all these people that want to say stupid shit, you know? Some people are probably going, yeah, you say a lot of stupid shit too. But, I don't know. It's just, I saw the same thing with that submarine that got lost, you know? And yeah, there's no fucking way I would have stepped foot in that little thing and went down in the ocean in it. No. Yeah, there was a dumb rich guy or two that did it. And the guy that ran the operation was a scumbag. But that other guy brought his son, who was just doing it to, impress his father in a way, the kid. No, he didn't deserve that. None of them deserved it. Everyone just laughs at them. It's like, ugh. There's families involved and people that love them. And here you got people burning up. You got animals burning up. Beautiful homes burning down. It's sad. So if you're out there in California, I hope you're going to be all right. And keep letting us know on social media that you are okay. And it sucks. There's like no water now. No water left in the fucking hydrants. That is very poor planning, poor management. That's all I'm going to say. I can go deep into that subject, but I'm not going to. So let's start talking about masks. Anyway, I hope the fires eventually go away. Hope they can be stopped somehow. And if you're out there in California, I hope that you're going to be all right. This is going to be a really good episode. My phone keeps going off like crazy. And it keeps making this go, brrr, and it's really loud on camera, so I keep getting all of these texts. I'm trying to put the phone somewhere where it's not going to do that. Gosh. Cool stuff's popping up, yes. There was a big warehouse find full of masks that I talked about maybe on the last episode and the one before that. I do have to get way more in depth with what's going on with that. My friend and I have been buying a ton of masks out of it. And these two are pieces that came from that warehouse deal. It's an awesome Beetlejuice piece here. That little shrunken head guy that was in the waiting room. What the heck's his name? I just can't think straight right now. It's been a crazy day for all kinds of things. This amazing Death Studios piece. This mask is 25 years old. Jeff made this 25 years ago, and it's looking gorgeous. I mean, that is a quality rubber mask. Jeff Death is making 80s style masks to this day. The rubber he uses, I love the smell of it. I love the feel of it. I love his paint work, the colors he uses. It's just screams 80s still here in 2025. Keep it up, Jeff Death. So I was on the phone with a very good friend of mine who moved to Dallas from LA about 5-6 years ago. Gave up his profession out there and started a new life, and is a big time YouTuber now. Makes a lot of money, very successful. And we're on the phone, talking on the phone about the fires and the friends we got out there and the shit we're hearing and the shit we're reading. And as we're talking, he gets a text message. He goes, oh my God. I go, what? Some friend of his that lived in Dallas, he goes, my friend has a big car channel, YouTube channel. He goes, man, this guy that lived out here, I kept telling him, he had some Lambos and stuff and had to move to California. Wanted to move to California, and my friend kept saying, I told him, do not move there. You got way much, you have it way better here in Texas. You're not going to be that happy there. I know it's California and the West Coast and all that, but he goes, just don't move there. You got everything you can need right here. And he goes, he just had to do it. Got to move to California. That guy just texted him and said, my house is gone. I lost everything. Do not call me. I can't even process my emotions. I'm losing my mind. And it's all gone. He goes, Rudy, that guy's house was $10 million. I was like, holy fuck. It ain't about the money. I'm going to start off with a few scores, and then we're going to get into a super score. In my mind, a super score. Yes, a very, very rare mask arrived just this morning to this collection that I never thought I would get. I know I say that a lot, but holy shit. It's primo condition, it's very rare, and it's got history. And a lot of people probably don't even know it existed all these years, you know? So some of you do, some of you don't. So we're going to start off with some cool newbies like this guy here. This elusive concepts dunce. I believe his name is Pinhead. Is it on this? Is it on the original tag here? Look at this thing. This was in the warehouse fine, yes, along with hundreds of masks. And I bought it, and when I got it in my hands, I loved it. I saw it in a fuzzy photo at first, and now that it's here, I'm like, I should give this thing a really good paint job, make it a lot more realistic, especially with the stitching and the wounds and the blood, like some blood coming down. This thing could really pop with the right repaint. And I think this could have been sculpted by Norman Cabrera. Shout out to Norman. Because Norman did makeup of this character in a Revolting Cocks video. Do you guys know the Revolting Cocks? Well, they covered, oh God, If You Want My Body and You Think I'm Sexy. They covered that song. It's great. It's an awesome old video. Watching that video just takes me back to that time when everything was just awesome. Everything was still awesome. The world was awesome. No social media, I don't think. Maybe, no, I don't think yet. But man, what a cool time to be alive before all of this insanity that surrounds us every day of our lives has been happening. But this mask, Norman, I'll show a picture of the makeup that Norman did for one of the characters in that like, it was a music video for the Revolting Cocks. And I'm pretty sure, even though this is elusive concepts, I don't know if Mario sculpted this. Someone told me Norman did. Maybe they're confused with the makeup Norman did. I don't know. A little fuzzy on that. Norman was texting us today. I should have texted him and asked him. But anyway, this thing with the right paint up will be badass. I like it. All right, moving on. A really cool, slightly gory mask showed up here from good old Distortions Unlimited. Another bald dude with gory shit in his face. There's a trend going on in this room, and it's gory Distortions Unlimited masks start popping up here and there in the collection. This one, though, it's a mask. It's a mask from the 90s. That's all I know at the moment. I didn't look up the catalog, but it was a good price. It wasn't that expensive, and I said, hey, that's a cool little mask. And here it is. Sight Bite. Get it? His eyeballs are in his damn mouth. Blood is oozing down from his eyes. He still has his factory hair. Factory paint looks pretty mint. But cool. I like how he's squeezing the left eyeball with his teeth. Looks like it's about to burst. But neat little mask, right? Moving on, I'm about to show you something extremely cool. That yeah, I'll say it. Never thought I'd get one, but I got one. I think I'm gonna move the old Beetlejuice dude, a little Shrunken. Is it Shrunken Ed? Is that his name? This is very well done, by the way. I don't know who did this, but it's really nice. There's no name on the plaque. I don't think there's any markings on the... What I will have to do is try to disrobe him. I don't want to, If anyone out there knows who did these, I would love... It feels like it's got... This thing feels like the sculpture goes all the way down to his shoulders. That's interesting. I don't know. It's hard to tell where the rubber... Maybe it starts and stops here. Let's see. No. Okay. It stops down about here, the rubber. But very quality little guy here. And if anybody knows who did this, please comment. I just can't picture who did this thing. So moving up to the next piece, we're going to have to get our old weighted stand out. This mask is big. I think it's probably too big for this stand. What we're looking at next is a Death Studios mask that came out around the year 2001, 2002. He's big. He's silver. He's got reddish orange eyes, and he is a badass known as the Iron Man. Look at this. Dude, this thing. Of course, it's probably not going to sit on here at all and fall all over the place. We will figure it out. Come on, Iron Man. The Iron Man, whatever you are. The Iron Man. From Mars? Are you from Mars? Isn't that thing cool? So, this was also in the big warehouse find of 2024. Right around Christmas time, all this was going down. December. Dino and I were like little kids, squealing. Like, oh my God. It's fun. You know, we thought these two guys beat us to the punch and got all these masks out of there. They got some good stuff, but man, they left behind a treasure trove of cool shit. And we were very happy to step up and buy, you know, 90% of it that was left. Something like that, 90% of it. There's another one of these. If anyone has it, I would love to find it someday. This is the Iron Man. There's an Iron Skull. So similar, you know, it's not clothing. It's like metallic plating, like metal, whatever you want to call it. Like a metal trench coat looking deal here. But there's a skull instead of a face. So instead of the Iron Man, it's the Iron Skull. Something like that. I'll show you a picture of one. Kevin's got it, of course. Anybody has one? I'm interested. Or if you see one out there for sale, send it my way. The link, please. Just a cool... It's a really cool piece. This might be something I would actually... Is it a wearable copy? Oh, it is a wearable copy. I feel like I might wear this on Halloween one day if it'll fit my big head, you know? My head's not too big, but... Cool. It might be hard to foam fill it, even though I thought about it, because it's got these weird shapes and stuff. We will see. But cool mask, known as the Iron Man. And you never see these. You never see them for sale. I've only seen a couple out there, and I'm like, man, I would love to get it. I remember seeing, like, I think I saw the master for the Iron Skull when I was at Death Studios, like up on a big shelf. I go, oh man, look at it. And it was massive. When we had that cool video I did on Jeff Death's place, Death Studios. I want to go back there really bad and talk with Jeff about something. I was texting Kevin about it today, like, man, when are you going back to see Jeff? He said, unfortunately, not till springtime. I got to silence these messages, guys. Hold on a second. They keep coming in. I'm filming right now. I'll check all of this out pretty soon. I'm going to silence the alerts. Hide alerts just so they're... Because every time it vibrates, it goes... And then you'll hear it on camera. All of this is leading up to the Super Score. And to do this properly, I'm going to remove these guys. And we're going to place some very rare masks on the old table here, because the Super Score is going to go with these others, in a way. Because they're all made by the same guy. So, first of all, let me take some of this stuff down, and we're going to replace them with masks from a man by the name of Kirk Brady. All right, kids. Look at that. Woo, boy. Woo! Whoa, I almost sat on this. That would have been interesting, huh? So, Kirk Brady. Holy shit. Yes. A name that many people following this channel probably have not heard of until they watch some of these videos, you know? Kirk Brady was a mask maker and special effects dude from way back in the day, late 70s, very early 80s. He had a company with a friend of his called R. Quinn Studios. Yes. Kirk Brady and Bill Nelson were the two behind R. Quinn Studios. The letter R, Quinn Studios. Booyah. So, back a long time ago, before the invention of the internet, there were things called magazines, yeah, and they were cool. You had a magazine in your hands, it was something very special. And it was a lot different of a feel to get something like this in your hands as a young man or a young lady. Look at that, good old 1980 Don Post ad on the back. Cine Magic by Starlog. Number 6. This is from 1980. And what I mean is, what made these things so special, there was no internet. You're like, the internet's so, I don't know, things are going so fast. There's so much information coming at you every day from all different directions. And attention spans are not what they used to be. In my opinion. That's my opinion. Like, look at this. This proves it. Look at the excitement that young man has just by reading Fangoria. See that? So, like I said, you get bored of a web page. Well, do people even look at web pages anymore? You go to the next one and the next one, and you keep surfing the web, right? Back in these days, you got something like this. It's something, you look at it, you put it down, you pick it up, you look at it again and again and again, and you read different parts of it. The more you picked it up, the more things you noticed. You know, and you go back to certain images in these things, and you would just stare at things for a long time. And you really took in what was in your hands. And it was this paper feel, like you had this thing that you coveted. Every new issue you got, like Fangoria, for instance, you couldn't wait to open those pages and just start looking at stuff like this and flipping through the pages and seeing, like, oh, this page is in full color. Oh, wow. There's lots of black and white images, but oh my God, there's a poster that folds out. Like, it was such a treat to have something like that before the invention of the internet, where you're just scrolling, and, you know, it's obviously a completely different feel and a different time, you know, of course, a different time. Guys my age are going to go, hell yeah, you know exactly what you're talking about. You young guys are going to go, that is stupid. You know, you're not going to relate. You may think it's silly, but that's why so many of us, even older guys than me, love the old Monster magazine so much, because you got immersed into this paper magazine or a book or something. You know, you just like reading a book. You know, you go to another place. Well, these magazines took you to a land of special effects and movies and things that if you were a kid growing up in Ohio, you had no clue what was going on, how monsters were made or how masks were made out there in Hollywood, unless you got your hands on something like this, you know? There weren't special effects and mask making TV shows and websites and web pages and YouTube videos. There was none of that. You're going back to a world where, as far as media, it was very basic. You rented movies on tapes. But man, being able to see articles like this written by a guy named Kirk Brady, you weren't going to just stumble across this anywhere else in the world but right here in your hands, okay? And this issue was a very important issue to a lot of mask makers, young mask makers at the time, back in 1980, who were, you know, just growing up and wanting to be mask makers or wanting to work in the movies, or they were just starting to make masks as teenagers. This issue, a lot of guys told me that were a little older than me, really changed things. They said that Kirk Brady article in Cinemagic was everything to them. One of those young men would be Mr. Norman Cabrera. He said, man, when I got that issue, that changed it all. He goes, I will never forget what it was like seeing those masks in there. And we've talked about Kirk Brady's masks, he and I. He said, honestly, the only ones I've ever seen are in the pictures of this book, this magazine, or the ones in your room. He goes, I've never seen any other Kirk Brady masks. They're that rare, you know? Because I hit up Norman, I go, hey, do you know anybody that's got Kirk Brady masks, or do you have any? I would like to buy them. He's like, oh, honestly, you got the only ones I've ever seen, you know? So, yeah, this is, if you want to find this, go to eBay, look up Cinemagic issue number 6, okay? There's an entire article written by this gentleman right here. His name's Kirk Brady. See that dude? With his glasses and his blue shirt. This has always been one of my favorite pictures in the, I don't know what you call this. It's a hobby, the mask world. In the mask world, one of my favorite pictures is Kirk Brady sitting there and someone took of him, and he's just like, yeah, I made all these fucking masks. And I think one of them was made by his friend, though. All the ones in that photo I don't think are his creations. I think Bill Nelson made the Millennium mask sitting there, which I actually have. I should get that damn thing down. So the Millennium is this second one here, this alien looking dude. We're going to get to the mask and the Super Score. The Super Score is not on this table yet. So the Millennium, I have a feeling, I got a feeling. So, oh my God. Oh, I got to stop filming, guys. Hang tight. Well, guys, I was upstairs for a good half an hour on a lovely phone call. I couldn't put the phone down. So, I don't remember where we left off. I was talking about Bill Nelson, how I thought, okay, yeah, Kirk and Bill, Arquin Studios. Some of these masks were made by Jeff Death at Jeff Studios later on. Jeff did put out the Millennium in 19... I love when I get all settled back down and then the battery dies. Oh, okay, I'm back. Okay, where were we for the 50th time? Bill Nelson, yeah, Arquin Studios, Kirk Brady, ho ho. I was saying, some of these were made by Jeff Death later on. Around 1985, Jeff got the molds for Belial and Millennium, and another one called the Demon, and made some Kirk Brady masks through Death Studios. These are original Kirk Brady masks, okay? And I think this is tough. This one's tough. This Bill Nelson Millennium. So it is signed Nelson. It's signed Nelson 79. I think this is an original, honestly. Jesus. You leave it off silence for 5 minutes. The thing about this Millennium is, what's really cool is, if you look at Jeff Death's 85 catalog, I think this is the actual one seen in that catalog photo. Oh my God. Now you gotta get... What? What do you want? Alright, here. Get me full of hair, fuck it. I know. So I think this is the real deal catalog copy of the Millennium. Oh my God, it's nonstop. I'm putting it in my pocket so you won't hear it. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Hi, mustache. Good girl. I think this is my theory, and I need to ask Jeff this. Not that it even matters, but I think when guys like Kirk Brady would send masks for Jeff or molds to Jeff, like, hey, here's the molds, you want to produce my masks now for a while. I think he would also send Jeff, look at you, a mask, a copy of the mask, copy of this mask, copy of that mask, along with the molds. And I say that because if you study the 85 Death Studios catalog, Jeff's Belial in the catalog and the Millennium in the catalog look exactly like originals by Bill Nelson and Kirk Brady. Because when Jeff did the Belials, I think they were like a strange, were they flesh colored or like a weird maroon color? What were they? What do you think they were? Do you remember? Do you remember? What were your thoughts? Yes, I know. So anyway. So this, to me, looks exactly like the one in the photo of... I mean, the paint is... Even Billy Kirkus. I know I say names on this channel. Some of you guys are like, I know Billy. But a lot of you are like, who the hell's that? Just a friend of mine. He goes, yeah, dude, that is the catalog copy. Like, the paint is nuts, dead on nuts to that catalog photo. So, we're going to move on because we have a super score to show you. You can't stay here, kid. I got masks to show them, all right? All right? All right, here. Why don't you... Oh. Jesus Christ. Ah! Fucking God. Go! See, I hate this. I can't stand when you cannot walk through this place. Now, I've seen other Bill Nelson Millenniums. Like the one in the photo with Kirk Brady looks different. Meaning the paint up looks different. It's darker looking. And my friend Dante, I think, had one in an old photo. And it looked different. So I don't know. This is, I have to go to Jeff Death's for several reasons. One is to buy some shit. But two, I would like to say, is this Bill Nelson's or was this made by you? Meaning you, Jeff. Because it sure looks like the catalog one. Anyway, shut up already. Move on. Let's show the super score. As you can guess, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about, do you know how rare these hands are? Yeah, the masks are insanely rare. The hands are even more rare. We were talking about this and Kirk's write-up in the old Cinemagic issue, number 6 from 1980, where there is a whole article written by Mr. Kirk Brady. Kirk, if you're watching this, hats off to you as being one cool motherfucker. Not only is there a cool article in here written by Mr. Brady, but one of his beautiful masks is right on the cover. The old Ultimate Alien. See it there? Is that cool? So Ultimate Alien on the cover. Kirk was making special effects for a TV show at the time. Yeah, there was a TV series called Project UFO. I can't remember much about that, if it was a TV show or a TV made-for-TV movie, but Project UFO. Kirk is currently busy, this is in 1980, producing his own film, Astronaut, which will feature his talents as a writer-director as well as makeup artist, costume designer, and cinematographer. So he's a well-rounded artist. And I'm guessing this is from that film of his, or Project UFO, one of the two for sure. The old Ultimate Alien showing up there. Are those these hands? Holy shit! I just noticed that. Oh my god, this fucking phone. I'm losing my mind on so many levels lately with personal shit. Yeah. Oh, those are these hands. Oh, wow. I never noticed that. That is so cool. So this would be the right hand. Yeah. Oh, my God. This character in this picture is wearing these. It's not the exact same ones, but the Kirk Brady hands. You could tell by the little weird veining, like, design of the hand and the fingernails back there. I never noticed that. That's crazy. So cool. So cool. Where was okay, so back to the issue. Kirk wrote this article on how to basically create a mask, start to finish, from clay sculpture, the armature, I think actually bandage cover 3 rubber cap, creating an armature, even molding someone's head. This is a very detailed, in-depth article he wrote with pictures and all. And it shows the molding process, the demolding process. It tells you every step you freaking need to know, making like a 2-piece mold. But the thing that always captured my eye with this, yeah, I love masks. I love the mask making process, the special effects I've been into since I was a young teenager. You know, if you lived through the 80s and grew up as a young kid or teenager in the 80s and were infatuated with horror flicks, you knew who, like, Tom Savini was. You knew Fangoria magazine. And it was just this lifelong path of cool shit that you were attached to, with making special effects, monsters and stuff. So I loved all this. This is cool stuff, right? What Kirk is doing here. But inside this article, there is a mask that was shown, okay? That is the subject of this whole process, okay? First of all, man bat. Anybody has a real Kirk Brady man bat. See this? I want it. I will pay you very well on it. If you find me one, I'll pay you a finder's fee if you hook me up with one. I want Kirk's original masks, okay? However, what I was saying is, if you go back to the article, Kirk's showing all the steps of making this mask, start to finish, making a pull, molding the clay sculpture, getting a pull out of the mold, painting it, talking about herring masks. But during the whole way, you see this crazy cool mask in the photos. That is the test subject of this whole thing, right? And it is very obvious that this is several pages. If you love this whole thing, meaning masks and special effects, get this old issue. It's fucking cool. There it is again. Do you see that? What is the inspiration for this mask? Do you know? I don't think he ever says the name of the mask in this whole thing that he wrote, but that is clearly inspired by a space jockey from the film Alien. 100%. It is like Kirk's version of a space jockey, right? This is the first time I ever saw the Kirk Brady mask that looks like a space jockey. I learned how rare that thing is because nobody has it. I've seen one. I saw one in a friend's collection. But you're talking about a seriously rare mask. Not many people were even throwing the name Kirk Brady around in this hobby in recent years. Like in the past 10 years, nobody's talking about Kirk Brady. Nothing against Kirk. Like, this has nothing to do with quality of Kirk's masks, or he's just a legend in the minds of the older crowd of this whole thing. Like, Kirk is a name that the older guys in the hobby would definitely know and remember, but all these young guys out there and all these newbies, they don't know who the hell Kirk Brady was, right? So you do not hear that name pop up hardly ever. Old Death Studios guys, collectors, yeah, knew of Kirk Brady masks because Jeff was producing them in the mid-'80s. But you never saw Belial pop up, a real Belial or a real Ultimate Alien. I think one did surface about 5 or 6 years ago. Was that Ryan O'Donnell? He found an Ultimate Alien. You know, like that guy was searching out rare shit. When Ryan had his mask channel, he was searching out rare shit and he found it, you know. But other than that, you weren't seeing this stuff. Frank, of course, the Frankenstein had the baddest and most beautiful Belial on the planet Earth, which is right here in front of us. He also had the rare Belial hands tucked away, brand new in bags. They're a little discolored from age, but they're beautiful. He had those hands put away. He had the Ultimate Alien, which probably was foam filled in the 80s and sat in Frank's collection for the longest time. This has been one of my favorite masks ever since I got it. And then about a year or two later after having this, Jim Lawrence, an amazing painter and big part of Halloween mask history. Collectors will know him. Jim Lawrence, from working with Morris Costumes for many years. Jim Lawrence got in touch with me. He goes, "Hey, I see you have the Ultimate Alien." He goes, "I wore one of those for Halloween as a young man, and I still have the hands." And I'm like, "What?" And he sends me pictures of them. I go, "Dude, the colors of these hands pretty much match this mask beautifully. You got to sell them to me." And he did just that, right? So that I was able to create this beautiful set of the Brady Ultimate Alien with hands now, which was mind-blowing that I had 2 sets with hands here. Which leads us up to a very deep conversation Jim Lawrence and I had this past week about a certain Kirk Brady mask and the value of that mask. And he came to me and said, "What do you think of this?" I knew he had the mask because a friend of mine really was asking about it years ago and this year. And he goes, I want to sell it. I want to get a really good price for it. And I go, like, when I open the message, I go, "Oh my God." And I said, "Listen, Jim, I will get you the most out of that mask because I want it. Like, I will offer you top dollar in my mind." And this crazy, you know, things are down. I said, Don Post masks are down like by 30%, it seems, maybe even more from what they were bringing 3-4 years ago. Especially the vinyl stuff like the Carlisles and you know, the weird stuff, the really cool stuff like that, the glow masks. They were selling for like $800, $1,100 at times, and now they're back to normal prices. But everything just kind of fell back down. But I said, this is something special. And I said, even though the whole mask world seems to be down, I will offer you a very strong price on this mask. And I did just that. And he agreed to sell it to me. And oh my God, it's right here. As you probably guessed, yes, it is the one seen in this magazine that looks like a space jockey. We're not going to call it a space jockey because Kirk Brady didn't call it a space jockey. Let's get our giant mask stand out because it's going to go in the middle here. And not only, the cool thing about this is Jim, look at this. I should probably move this for, look at this, guys. So Jim told me, he goes, I got this directly from Kirk back then. And I was like, holy shit. It's gorgeous. Like, it is pristine quality. The rubber, I mean, there's no issues. There's no hard spots. There's no cracking. It's pliable rubber. And so I've had this mask for about 2 days now. And before I started filming this video, I go, oh my God, there's old newspaper in this thing, right? And I pulled out this piece of newspaper. This is cool as hell, man. Hold on. There you go. Hold that for me. Let's get this on the stand first. Let's get this giant mask stand out here first. And we will display him in the middle. Because I got to tell you how cool this is with this newspaper, what I found. This is so strange how this mask stand is. I don't know how. Hang on, guys. I want to be so careful. Okay, I think it's right where it should be. Okay. Put Belial's hand back. So, I'll come around the front. Take a good look at this. Yeah, look at that. This is nuts. This is a sight that you're probably not going to see anywhere else. 3 original Kirk Brady pieces. And so the magazine was 1980 issue of Cinemagic. The mask was made in 1980. And Jim Lawrence left the newspaper. So he received this from Kirk Brady. Probably stuffed with newspaper at the time it was transferred to Jim's house. And this newspaper is dated March 15th, 1980. Which is so damn cool. It's got the original 1980 newspaper stuffed inside of it. That is wild. Of course, this is probably crooked, right? This whole screen. Sorry, guys, but look at that. You ain't gonna see this anywhere else. Not that I know of. I don't know anybody that has a good selection or grouping of original Kirk B masks, you know, like this. Josh Wazzy got molds from Kirk. They are definitely like production size molds or recasted sizes. They're smaller. Very nice, but that's one way you can get the rare Man Bat and Demon in your hands. And even a Belial is through Josh Wazzy through Nightmare Force. I actually I have Josh's masks here, and they're nice. They're just, you could tell they're a generation or so smaller than the original Kirk pieces, but they're still beautiful. Otherwise, you'd never, ever be able to get those rare pieces in your hands if it wasn't for Josh resurrecting those molds and bringing them out and pumping out some copies. But incredible, man. This thing is just freaking gorgeous. I've never seen one in my hands ever. I know my buddy
My buddy Colby, I think, has one of these. But other than that, I've never seen one anywhere else. And Kirk's masks are so nice and big. They've got beautiful size to them. And the paint jobs are, I don't want to say basic, but they are basic. But that really is what I love about them. There's not a bunch of crazy shit going on here. Even in the way with Kirk's sculptures, it's so hard to explain what I'm trying to tell you, but it's just these nice basic cuts and the way he shaped the clay that is so effective in making these characters look the way they do. So damn cool. Look at that. All right, I'm back. Battery died again. Something like that. So, what do you guys think? Pretty badass trio right here. And like I said, I really want to find that man bat. I really want to find the demon. 2 masks that Kirk did that are just so hard to get. And I will pay. I will pay to get them. If you've got them and you really don't want to come off them and you're thinking about it, get in touch with me. Let's make a deal. Obviously, I want to get more of Kirk's pieces here and get the originals in my hands. They're just beautiful. To me, the sculptures are so unique. His style is so unique. And there's not many other masks out there like them, you know. Love it. So, before we say goodnight, there's also another super score in this house right now. It's not a mask. No. I scored something. I say this shit a lot on this channel. I scored something. Now, when I say I never thought I would get one of these ever, I am 100% serious when I tell you that statement, because I scored a very, very rare horror-related item. It's from 1986. It's not a toy. It's not a poster. It's not a model. It's not a mask. It's a video game. Yes. A video game like no other of its... A video game like no other of its era. In the mid to late 80s, there was nothing like this in the arcade. And I don't think they made very many of them. I had the luxury of playing one at one of the local arcades. My main home base was Friar Tuck's in Calumet City, Illinois. Friar Tuck's game room was the coolest 80s arcade ever that I was going to probably around 81 up till the 90s. All through the 80s, we would go there and play, Missile Command, Spy Hunter, Excite Bike. I remember Dragon's Lair was in the corner one day. We walk in, we go, what the hell is that? We could not believe a video game had graphics like that, like a cartoon almost, right? Dragon's Lair, very famous game. And what shocked us more than that was it cost 2 quarters. It was a 50-cent game, and I'm telling you, that's the first 50-cent game I've ever seen in my life, was Dragon's Lair. That's not what's upstairs. No. So just hold on. Yeah, arcade games are a big part of my life. Okay, way more than pinball was. Arcade games. I watched the birth of Atari happen right before my eyes. I remember having the flu one day. I was a little kid in the 70s. I had the flu, and my dad got a Pong machine. We call it machine. It was a little box, and hooked it up to our TV with the little game TV switch. And I remember it was just Pong. There was no other games. It was just Pong. This predates Atari. And you would move that thing side to side like do, 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 do. And I could not believe that something in my hand sitting on the couch was controlling something on that TV screen. It was mind-blowing, you know. There were no PlayStation. There was nothing. And seeing something in your hand moving on the TV screen, I'm telling you, it was crazy. Then we saw Atari be born out of, you know, nowhere, and then all of a sudden we had the arcade in our living rooms. You know, we could play arcade games right in our homes, and it changed the world. Fast forward to 86 now. I'm a young punk, still going to the arcade, and there was this game. It was very graphic, very bloody, and just insane. And I'm going to take you upstairs and show you that game, right? Can you guess what it is? Have you guessed? You probably know because it's in the title of this freaking YouTube video. Let's go play Chiller.
Oh my God, yes. Chiller, folks. So the colors you're looking at on your screen, this is way more colorful. It's greens and yellows. I know that what I'm about to show you on the computer screen, it looks way better in person. So I'm sure just whatever you're seeing is not great quality compared to what it looks like on this monitor here in the original game. This is a real deal original Chiller. This game is so rare, it's insane. And yeah, I found one all the way in California, and I had this fucker shipped here across the country. And here it is. We're gonna play it. Let me get some credits going. Hold on, because I'm gonna have to put this. How am I gonna do this? I wonder if I could set this right here. I guess so, maybe. Hold on. Maybe this is gonna... God, can you even see it? This is not easy, guys. The object of the game is to blow the flesh off of people's bodies. And it's like a target practice, like a shooting gallery, where you shoot all these little things going on. Anyway, let's see if you're able to see what I can see. Smash his head. This is crazy. And it goes on and on and on, where you just shoot stuff, shoot the flesh off their bodies, and you hit the stretcher, and you stretch the bodies out, then you blow the skin right off of them. The person hanging there, you hit the wheel, feed him to the alligator. It's crazy. Kill that dude back there when he comes out. Let's wait for that guy. Just watch. But you literally blow the flesh off their bodies. Isn't this insane? I'm gonna show you. Crazy. This sucker was... Anyway. Welcome to Chiller. If you've never heard of this game, now you have. And this son of a bitch was not cheap. The big question is, am I gonna keep it upstairs or move it to the basement? But all right, everybody, had to show you Chiller because this was indeed a super score. This is probably the only machine I ever saw pop up for sale. Quit licking the plastic, you wear. I'm putting away Christmas stuff. Only one I've ever seen available that I can get my hands on in a decade or more, right here. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous example of the chiller machine. Real deal, original cabinet. And I got one. So, until next time, I'll see you back soon with more mask videos. Good night.